Hey, what is up everyone? Welcome to another video. I know a lot of you been asking me about this video, so finally here it is. In this video we are going to talk about the skills required to be project manager and what are the things you need to do to build your portfolio to become project manager. Let's get started. Before I get started, I just want to express my gratitude and say that thank you all for supporting and loving my content and being with me for my entire journey. I would really appreciate if you can just comment and let me know what did you think about this video, if it provide you any value. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is this video is gonna be like a blueprint, like a big picture looking at the bird's eye view, what it takes to be a project manager, what are the skills, online courses, education, how can you get experience, all of those things I'm going to talk about it, but I'm going to keep it a little bit of highlight or an overview, because if I start talking in detail it can go forever and I don't want to make like a 6 hours video. Instead of that, I'm just going to try to do it in like 10-15 minutes, and then in each section I talk about, I'm going to get into deep dive for each section. Probably going to be 5 to 6 section, and for each section I'm going to make a separate detailed video. Alright, there are two kind of categories of project management. One is the traditional project management, and then another one which is more modern and upcoming, agile project management. I'm not going to go and explain you what is like exact and detailed difference between them in this video. I'll make a separate video, so watch out for that one. But I still want to give you like a little bit of a glimpse between what is traditional project management and agile project management. Traditional project management follow the principle of Project Management Institute. It's also called PMI. They have a standard set of rules which is what they follow, and a lot of companies uses that. But if you are moving towards tech industry, software industry, a lot of companies are moved towards agile project management. And agile project management is a big, and then there are under agile project management there are a lot of frameworks, and one of the most popular frameworks is called Scrum, and then the position for that Scrum is called Scrum Master, and I am the Scrum Master for my company. It's just a fancy name of project manager, but I am master of that Scrum framework or the process and how we implement the project using that framework. Now all the recommendation I'm going to make in this video is keeping both the traditional project management and agile project management, and all of those I'm keeping both of them in the mind. And of course do your research, and when you start diving into this you will understand the difference between both of them. You're probably gonna ask me, Yudi bro, which one should I do, traditional project management or agile project management? I'm gonna tell you that you should do both, because traditional project management, I just said that tech industry is the one who's moving towards scrums or agile project management. There are other industry as well who's trying to move, but there are a lot of industries like manufacture, construction, banking, operations. A lot of them still follow the traditional project management, and they will be eventually moved to agile project management, and that is why you need to do both. So if you do both trainings, or if you are expert in both, then all of a sudden you stand out in other applicants, because now you can help the company who doesn't have agile, and then traditional but you also know agile. You can help them transition into the new technology or new framework or new implementation. Regardless of what you choose, agile or traditional, I think the basic role of project manager is to get work done. That's it. Like your main job is to get work done. Like you get this project, you have to make sure that it executes in the right time, in the right amount, and with the right given resources. That's all the project manager does. So you have to have a lot of communication skills, you have to have a lot of time management skills and people management skills. And I've made like 4 to 5 video series on project management. I'll link in the description. Go and check them out so you'll have a better understanding. But this one is focused on the things you need to do to become project manager. The first section is books and online articles and blogs which I follow for project management, which I have read from project management. I've transitioned from computer science to project management. These are the articles and books which helped me. This is one very tiny book. I don't know if you can see it. I'll also put the picture of this book on the screen. It will give you a quick summary of what is Scrum. Like, it will very simple, easy to understand book. I'll also leave the link of Amazon Kindle or ebook in the description, so you can go and download it. This is the second version of this book. So this is a tiny book. You can see like hardly maybe 20 pages book, and then this is the bigger picture of this. So this is like overview, this goes in detail. If you do this too, you will totally understand what is Scrum. You will totally understand what exactly you need to do. I highly recommend to read this book. There are many other books, but these are the two you just need to get started with these two books. Talking about traditional project management, there are not of many books. There's only one book which is gonna be PMBOK book, which is it's also called PMBOK. It's Project Management Body of Knowledge. It's by PMI, Project Management Institute. It's a super big book. It's a lots and lots of pages. Highly recommend you to get started with this. But this book is a little technical, so if you get started like as a beginner and have no idea about project management, this book is going to be a little heavy on technical terms, and you'll not understand stakeholders and cost compliance and all those like fancy terms they use in this book. So what I recommend you to do is get this book instead. It's called PMP Prep Exam by Rita. So this book is super awesome. So this book right here is the knowledge, right? This is like the theory book of it, but this book is the certification book. So PMI provides PMP certification, which I'll talk about it in just few minutes. But one of the big most common certification is project management certification, which is by PMI. So you need to read this book, but there's a book already which you can just read, which will give you that certification of project management certification. There's also another version of this, which is CAPM, which is Certified Associate Project Manager, but I recommend you to get this one because it's very similar to get started. Highly recommend, because there's like books, there are questions, there are like examples. It's very interesting book. I learned a lot from this. That's why there's like all these notes in this. I learned a lot of things from this book, so I highly recommend you. So those are some of the core basic books which will help you to get started. Use this time to start reading these books and get started on it. And I'll also leave the link of my favorite project management articles and groups which I follow, so you can go and follow them as well. Now moving on to certification and online courses. Which one should you do if you have some time, like you want to get started? All the courses which I'm going to recommend are going to be dependent on certification. Now there are two main certifications which I'm going to recommend. The first one is PMP, which is for traditional project management. It is project management professional, but the problem with that one is if it requires some hours of experience, you have to justify that you have 3 years of experience or 5 years of experience, then only you are eligible to give that exam. So if you have it, you're great, you're good to go. But if you don't have it, then you need to get CAPM certification, which is the first level of that certification, which is Certified Associate Project Management. And similarly, to get both of that certification, CAPM and PMP, you need certain hours of education, which means you need to take either online classes or you can take a university class. But I'm going to recommend this Udemy course, which if you do this course, you will get the required number of hours of class, which you online training or education you need to satisfy this certification. I'll put the link in the description. I myself took this Udemy class. Taking that courses will definitely make your job easy. Now talking about the certification for Scrum or Agile Project Management, there is one which highly recommend, and I am certified Scrum Master. I'm advanced certified Scrum Master. I'm moving on to my next level, which is certified Scrum Professional. So CSM, it is very widely known in United States. Pretty much almost all the companies who, if you apply for Scrum Master position, a lot of companies will say CSM preferred, CSM required, CSM certification required, because it's very valuable. It's a hands-on training which you need to do, and then you have to give exam. It's very interesting training class. The trainer, depending on which trainer you go, for my training they made us do like a virtual project management, like a whole product release and all of those. So it was very interesting, and you will learn a lot out of this certification. Problem with that one is it's in person and it's a little expensive. In United States, the starting price is like $900. I highly recommend you to check in whichever country you are coming from. In India, I believe it is 25,000 to 30,000, which is way cheaper than $1,000. So if you have time, get it done. There's another certification which is Professional Scrum Master certification. It's very similar to CSM, just they both are competitors. They both teach the same thing. PSM is cheaper. It's $150, or I think $100. I think $100 or $150, and you don't need to take online. You don't need to take in-person training, or you don't have to go to hands-on classes or anything. You can just do online education. You read the guide and then get it done. But for CSM, you have to take online, and I recommend CSM over PSM. But you might not be able to do CSM, so then go for PSM. But CSM is highly required or preferred. Of course, there are other like Prince 2, ITL, Six Sigma, Lean Six Sigma, and all of those, Safe, Agile. All of those certifications are there, but let's not worry about them. We will worry about them once you have crossed this hurdle, get PMP, CAPM, or CSM or PSM. These are the first starter level of certification to get your feet into project management and to learn something about project management. Moving on to the most important part, like how will you build your experience if you don't have an experience, if you're a fresher? How do you build that experience so that people consider you as a project manager, or they even think of you to get an interview for project manager? How do you do all those? Like, what are the skills required and how can you gain those skills? Like I said in the beginning of the video, the main skill of project manager is to get the work done. It is the people skill, is the communication skill, and all of those skills you build through several things. Now, if you are on campus right now in university, I would highly recommend you to start doing some form of event management, because there are a lot of events happen on your campus, and if you can organize that event, or you can be a volunteer to do some part of organization of that event, that will be awesome. And I'm going to give you my personal example. When I came to Chico State, I became a student president for Indian Student Club, and then also a yoga and meditation club. I hosted a big events on campus with the audience of more than 300, 400, 700 students. So when you're hosting this big of an event, there are a lot of things you need to take care, which basically an event manager at that time is a project manager. So you are an event manager, you are a project manager. So all of a sudden you are building that hands-on experience of project manager. So, and in fact, when I was managing these events, we had a budget of $5,000 which was funded by university. So you have to first get fund approved. So first is to go and kind of build your requirement, present it, get the fund approved. Once the fund is approved, then you have to go and talk to different vendors, because you have to talk to lights and setups and stage and all of this. So this shows that you have that communication skill, negotiation skills, of people skill. Once all of those are done, then you have to execute the event. You need a team which is going to help you coordinate this event. You can be a coordinator as well, but if you are leading that, then you are a project manager and you're making sure all the event gets executed. That is work getting done. I can almost guarantee that in any university there is going to be at least 50 to 100 events per semester. All you need to do is just step up, go to the people who are organizing this event and tell them that I want to be part of it. Can I help you coordinate it? Can I help you be the event manager? I want to do something. One is that if that is not working, maybe create your own club club and start your own club. Be the leader on the campus, which means like if you're passionate about entrepreneurship, maybe start an entrepreneurship club. If you're passionate about painting, maybe start a painting club. If you're passionate about piano, music, rap music, maybe start a rap music and maybe put out a big rap show. So you can do so many things. There are so many opportunities, and that kind of builds your project management capabilities and skills. Another opportunity for you is to go and volunteer for your local startups. You can go and tell them, maybe reach out to maybe 50 other startups in your area and tell them that you want to help, you want to gain a project manager experience, you're willing to work for free. Can I get a free internship? Can I just shadow something? Can I do some form of project management for you? And the reason I say free internship, because there's a startup, they might not have a position, but you're just acting as a volunteer, so you don't need visa and all of those things. You're basically not getting paid, you're just doing as a part of your project, as your hobby. But what will happen is, once you get your foot inside a startup, those people who you build the network, and then they will vouch for you to go to different companies once they see you're working, and it will help you get an experience. Another opportunity is very similar, which is non-profit organization. There will be a lot of non-profit organization in your area. Maybe reach out to them and say like, hey, if you're putting out any event, I would love to be a project manager for that event. I would love to be event manager. I would love to help you with anything. I'm trying to gain some experience, and this is how one of the way you can gain it. Another way is reaching out to professors, and especially in MBA department, in project management department, but don't stick to just those departments. Go to almost all the departments and reach out to them, because they probably run a lot of big projects. And if you as a student go and tell them that, hey, I want to help you manage that event, or I want to help you manage that project, you can get. And the story, I'm going to tell you story of my friend. He just reached out to MBA department and said, I want to be a project manager. And guess what? That department hired him as a student project manager. And guess what? He was a part of a big project which was worth more than like $100,000 or $200,000, and he was the lead student project manager. So there is opportunities on campus which you can reach out to and explore on that. Another one is there are on-campus jobs which are titled as coordinators or student professionals or student paraprofessional, where you can see their skills, and their skills must be communicating and public speaking and leadership. If those are the things, you can go and participate. Apply for those campus jobs. Don't settle for just cafeteria jobs. It's good to have that, but don't settle for it. Maybe go and explore different areas and departments on campus where you can probably get a coordinator job, and that coordinator job will translate into a proper project management experience. I know personally many students who have got a job as a project coordinator on campus, event coordinator, event manager, analyst, business analyst, system analyst. So there are many jobs available on campus, so maybe try to look for such jobs. Last but not the least, create your own experience. What I mean by that is,